Hey, Giant fans. Welcome to the Threshold of Hell. We're 1-6, going nowhere. We have no idea where our franchise is right now. And we just came off another embarrassing loss in primetime football, which is what we always do. It seems like we never won a primetime game in I don't know how long. The hopes and aspirations that this team had are gone. I can go into, we're going to go into why they lost and what were the key reasons as to why they embarrassed themselves yet again. And I can rant and rave. And there were some changes made today, I think, for the better. But I'm going to give my partner, Chris Bizignano, the beat writer for the Giant Insider, a chance at ranting a bit. So, Chris, buddy, take it away. It's all you.
Where do I start? I guess we'll start with execution in the red zone. Once again, it wasn't there. Questionable game management by Coach Shermer before the first half. A little hurry-up offense in the red zone with timeouts, leaving time on the clock for Atlanta. I have no idea why they're going to hurry up there. Odell running the wrong route at the back of the end zone. Eli missing it because of Odell's lack of execution. Eli not seeing Odell on the other side of the field. Missing him there, throwing it to Scott Simonson. Two guys hanging on his shoulder pads. There was no shot at completing that. Barkley, no room to run. As usual, the rush blocking by the offensive line was horrible. Offensive line was horrible in the first half against a team that came in with 10 sacks.
Yep.
Giants got some pressure in the first half. Second half, they're nowhere to be found. Ryan completed, I think, the last 18 passes.
I saw that. 18 straight. You got to be kidding me.
Big penalty by Apple on one drive, right? The hold.
Not our problem anymore, Eli Apple.
Yeah, not our problem now. The same old story, right? Just a lack of execution all around. The defense, once again, can't get a stop at the end of a game when they need it.
Yeah.
It's the same old kicker from the other team. They just signed off. I think they got him from Applebee's before the game, brought him on the field, kicks a 57-yarder.
Yeah.
Which is nothing new to us.
Oh,
Giant
and
fans.
Also Shermer's decision to go for two.
Shermer going for two.
Yeah.
Explaining that it's analytics and math and all that.
Yeah, Chris, I want to start with that one. That was one. Admittedly, you're a much bigger baseball fan than I am. We joke that you're Red Sox, I'm Yankees. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time with baseball because I'm not big into the analytics. I'm at the point where, are we just going to plug in computers on the sidelines and let them make the calls? Because going for two there, I don't care about the math behind it. When you look at the Giant offense and understand what it takes for them in one play to get 2 yards at the goal line, when it's probably less than 50%, what the hell was the thinking there? And I could even see, Chris, if the Giants were ahead or behind, rather, 40-31, where they can't stop the Falcons at all, like the Saints game from 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was, where I would have gone for two in that game because we're not stopping Drew Brees in a dome. This wasn't the case. We were doing pretty well against Matt Ryan for the most part in this game. I refuse to put this at the defense. And to go for two there and then say it's the math, what do you think? We're all stupid?
That's not the math chart, but 2-point conversion. And now you got people, you got a few people on Twitter. Well, Doug Peterson did it. He says it's analytics.
God,
I mean, are you kidding me right now? You show me analytics, in the third quarter, 21-12, and you go for two. 20-12, you go for two. I never heard of that before. I've been watching football since the mid-'70s. Never even heard of that because Doug Peterson tried it once a couple of weeks ago. Now all of a sudden, this is an analytical sport? Are you kidding me right now?
And the Giants were a team that earlier in the game got down to the 20 and couldn't get in, and they ran that BS Barkley in motion. Everyone knew he was getting it. They can't. It's not like we have a design play from the one, let alone the two. And I know that sounds crazy, but this team can't pound it in the end zone with this offensive joke of an offensive line in front of them. I couldn't believe they called the play. And everyone says, well, Odell should have caught it. All right, yeah, he should have caught it. But when you look at what's wrong with this offense, it's everything. It's drop passes. It's Eli not finding guys. It's piss poor blocking. So when you add it all together, I wasn't surprised that Odell dropped it. I just
drops balls all the time.
I couldn't believe that they went for that. And we can discuss it till we're blue in the face. There's going to be people that tweet at us and say, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know what, guys? Fine. we failed to convert. If Shermer went for one there and actually kicked the field goal when he was down earlier, he left 4 points on the board. We lost by 3. So do the math. Perform those analytics and let me know what you come up with.
Yeah, and he's got to kick the field goal early in the game, too.
Sure.
When it was 10-3. You know, we're not in a position to be leaving points on the board.
No way.
I'm sorry. Listen, Jerry, there's a difference between, having faith in your players and being stupid.
Right.
Okay? And I understand, the confidence booster, and I have faith in you guys. But I'm sorry. When you have an offense that hasn't done nothing all year, you take the points there.
Yep.
All right? You just don't leave points on the board. We're not the LA Rams. We are not Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. We're okay. You know what? We'll leave it down. We'll leave points on the board because we're going to get 2 in the next drive. Yep. We're not like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And a 2-point attempt is ridiculous. Okay. I'm sorry. And trust me, I was saying this before. Yeah. Odell dropped it in the end zone.
Yeah.
That what are we doing? It wasn't like, Jerry, me and you, we're pretty fair-minded with this as far as we're not the type of guys that say, hey, what are you doing? And then they convert it and go, oh, that's a great call, coach. Great call. That's what you should have done there. Yep. No way.
Right.
Okay. Listen, Coach Shermer has done a lot of mind-scratching moves as far as game management.
That's funny. Mind scratching is right. Like you reach.
Yeah, because I say that, Jerry.
You literally scratch your mind, and you're
right. I mean, I say that because my index finger is scratching my head.
Yeah, that's right.
10:30 at night. Yeah. Saying to myself, "What are you doing, Coach?" Yeah. And you see all these prominent guys who have covered the Giants for years, or covered football for years. I mean, Ian O'Connor, who's been around since seems like I was a kid. Writing books about Belichick and all that. And he's coming out saying, I have never seen that in 50 years watching football, 40 years watching football.
Right. And what are you going to do? You're going to tell Ian O'Connor you don't know analytics?
Right. I mean, I never heard of it, but that's what Coach decided to do. And he's catching the heat for it. And he's going to stick by it. And good for him. I just don't agree with it.
So the other 2 plays you brought up, the 2 Odell plays at the goal line, the one clearly Manning's fault. And this is the problem I have with Eli. And I think this is the problem a lot of people have with Eli. When the protection's there, on the rare occasion it is, he still makes horrible decisions. I mean, to not throw that ball to Beckham and to try and throw it to the pride of Red Bank, New Jersey, Scott Simonson or Simonson, however you say his name, the third string tight end who had 2, actually I thought it was 3 guys draped on him across his body. When you have the premier receiving weapon in the league right in front of you, you could have underhanded it. Just shows you the poor decision making that is just enveloped Manning over the last year and a half, I guess. And, you can't keep making excuses for the guy. I mean, yes, he had 399 yards. A lot of it was in the fourth quarter because he took chances down the field and they were behind. And did he make good throws in the game? Sure. But those are the ones he leaves out there that kill me. And those are the ones that Giant fans got to stop making excuses for because it was there for him. It was so easy.
Yeah, listen, it's a 4-option play, Jerry, where the first read is Odell doing that little out.
Yep.
Okay, right? And if that's not there, then you have to look at Ingram in the corner, and then Simonson, and then you run if it's not there. But the first read was there. It was right there. And that's why the whole nation read Coach Shermer's lips when he says throw the ball to Odell because Odell was open.
Wide open.
And Eli, for some reason, didn't read it correctly or didn't want to pull the trigger or whatever it was. And decided to go to option number 2. Actually, Simonson was actually option number 3 across his body. They try to force it in coverage, and we know how that worked out.
What did you think of Shermer's response at the presser today when he said, "Oh, you guys are into lip reading now"?
Listen, Jerry. Coach Shermer is not going to throw anybody under the bus. No, it's not going to happen, Jerry. So the media, which we are part of, the fans, better get used to this. As long as the tenure that Pat Shermer has here is that he's not going to come out and say, yeah, Eli blew it.
Yeah.
Or this guy blew a block.
Yep.
Or this and that. This is the way he is, and this is the way he's going to be.
I just felt like there's a fine line between that and insulting our intelligence. And as a
this
fan,
is what he better understand.
As a fan, when I hear something like that, I'm like, man, you liar.
So do I.
Come on, man.
Listen, Jerry, so do I.
Yeah.
So do I. You just asked me about what, I can't believe you said that. And I'm just telling you why he said it.
Sure.
Now,
Yep.
do I agree with that, Jerry? No, I don't agree with that because this is New York. People here are different than people in Minnesota or Iowa. I've been saying this for weeks.
Yep.
That when you get asked a question like that, people will, I hate to use respect. I'm not going to say respect, but people will what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be more real in this town.
Yeah.
If if you ask that Sherm about Eli play there with Odell, you're better off honestly saying, yeah, I think Eli might have missed that one. Yeah. People will like that more than saying, oh, what do you mean? What are we, mind readers now? What are we, lip readers now? And this and that. Because, Coach, we saw it on TV. The whole nation saw it that you said throw the ball, Odell. Yep. And there's nothing wrong. You're not throwing Eli under the bus by saying, yeah, we kind of missed that one. He kind of missed the first read. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And New York, this is the media capital of the world. It's just not going to fly. And Coach Shermer, I really like the guy, Jerry. I really like the guy. He's a good man. I've been saying this forever. But there's also a fine line of how you have to talk to the media in this town. And he's just digging himself more and more of a hole with some of his answers.
The other play you brought up was everyone on TV watching the game thought it was Manning that missed him. But it, from the sounds of it, and especially today reading up on the game and all the comments on Twitter, was Odell ran slightly the wrong route, that Manning was throwing to a spot and Odell didn't get there. But right away, everyone threw Manning under the bus for that. But this is, Odell had a great game. There's no doubt he had a ridiculous game. He showed you how talented he can be.
Yeah, he's the best. Yep.
Even though he left the sidelines to tinkle, which I thought was a little strange. But anyway, whatever. That aside, he dropped the 2-point conversion, and then he didn't run that route, I guess, accurately enough or with enough precision, and it was a blown opportunity. It was another blown opportunity, and this is what you get. Like, we talk about how great Odell is, but there's some attention to detail sometimes that he falls short sometimes, and I know that everyone's going to kill us on Twitter for that because Odell kind of can do no wrong with a lot of people. But that was on him. That wasn't on Manning.
No, that's like the case of, Jerry, when you see interceptions by quarterbacks, right away everybody blames the quarterback in every interception, where about 80% of them are not the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it. Most of it is a receiver running the wrong route.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, Odell, he had to plant his left foot and break towards the right pylon in the back of the end zone there. And he didn't. He didn't take it sharp enough. And Eli threw it to a spot where he was supposed to be, and he was like 2 seconds late getting to it.
Yeah.
You can always tell with Eli when somebody runs the wrong route.
Yeah.
He never shows anybody up, Eli, but once in a while he will look at the receiver and wave his hand.
Yeah, he did it with Odell. He did it with Ingram.
He did with Ingram.
Too. Yeah.
He did with Ingram, ran the wrong route, and Eli is getting a little frustrated himself, rightfully so. He kind of waved at him like, what route are you running?
Right.
And that's what he did with Odell. Because when I first saw the play, too, I said, oh, God, Eli, you missed a wide open Odell. And then you saw Eli's reaction, and then you saw Odell looking over at him like, yeah, I'm sorry. I did. I messed up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Eli's fault, So execution, my friend, execution in the red zone. The Giants have been lacking it since day one.
I thought if there was one play that I saw that summed up the entire season, aside from the ridiculous call on the goal line to run Barkley in motion and give it to him. Every other team in the league, by the way, would fake that and then throw it to. That's when you throw it to Scott Simonson, when everyone thinks Barkley's getting it, and then you throw it to the third string tight end. But the one play that summed up, I thought, this whole disgrace of a season offensively was dropping back, throwing the ball to Barkley 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I think it was 3rd and 2 at the time. And Chad Wheeler fell down. It looked like somebody shot him. It looked like somebody sniped him. He was just laying on the ground. And there were 3 Falcons around Barkley. I think he lost 7 on the play or 8. And there's just this offensive line is an absolute disgrace. And as much as we like Will Hernandez and think he's going to be good, overall, the line is so bad. Nate Solder has underperformed. We kept giving him a chance, kept saying, you know what, give Nate Solder some time. But he was terrible. Hernandez wasn't good. I thought Spencer Pulley, Greco for a while were going to be okay. It's just there's not talent on this line right now. And Hernandez is talented, but it's going to take some time with him, maybe another year or so. But they're not competitive, and they're not giving this offense a chance at all.
Nah, most of the time they aren't. I thought they pass protected better in the second half, but
Yeah.
listen, the first half they scored 6 points. Um, they just didn't pass protect well. Forget about run blocking. I've totally given up on that.
Yeah, I know. So
Um,
have I.
Last night I like Will Hernandez a lot. He's been a good draft pick. I think he's going to be a solid player for us for a long time. But he got schooled by Grady Jarrett last night. Grady Jarrett dominated him, which happens. Listen, it does happen. He's just a kid. I'm not really too worried about Hernandez, but obviously, the center, right guard, and right tackle are going to have to be replaced. Well, I shouldn't say that. Jalapeno will be back. We'll see what his looks like next year. But Sola, so many times in New England, he came on it in the middle of the season on. I understand that. He's not playing well right now at all. You're 100% correct. But you see it so many times where he kind of gets beat off the edge where Brady kind of saved him over the years where he steps up because Brady's so shifty in the pocket with his feet, something that Eli is not, And Brady saved Sola a lot of sacks over the years by just doing that little shift move in the pocket to escape the outside edge rusher, right? Where now Eli gets hit.
And Eli used to be good at that, but I don't think he has any faith in the guys up front holding him. So when he steps up, he's stepping into a sack.
And like I've been talking about, Eli just his pocket awareness, his pocket clock has just been shot probably since like you said, the Baker hit or going back to 2013, because he's been getting a pounding for all these years, So, listen, it's frustrating. I don't know. It's so frustrating to see it. Season's over.
Yeah. So some of the positives, I guess, if you can come away with any. The wide receiver play, specifically Odell and Sterling Shepard, I thought had a great game, and he looked very good. And on the defensive side, there's going to be and we can get into it as well. There's going to be a purge because that's where, oddly enough, some of the guys who can yield draft picks in return are on the defensive side of the ball. But one of the guys I think has a future is Lorenzo Carter, and he had a sack last night, and he played a lot more. I came away from that game thinking, all right, you know what? We have an outside linebacker that we can go forward with.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I know it's kind of ball when snaps were cut dramatically last night. Especially with OV back. Ballman's been a big disappointment. He hasn't done anything. But Carter played a lot more last night. I thought he played pretty decent. Like you said, he had the sack. I think he's going to be a solid guy on the outside for us for years. And so that's one bright spot, I guess, right? There's going to be a lot of people that won't be back on this roster next year.
Yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball. One is gone already.
Yeah, I was going to say, so while we're on that subject, I mean, trading Eli Apple for a 4 and a 7, people were mad. And I think it's funny because every Giant fan, I tweeted this, every Giant fan says, these guys suck, get rid of them. Then you get rid of someone and, oh, no, don't get rid of that guy. No, wait a minute, guys. It doesn't work that way. This whole team outside of Saquon Barkley is tradable. Every single player. Probably Saquon and Odell are the two guys that won't get traded. Everybody else is tradable on this team right now. And to get a 4 and a 7 for a guy who, like you said, has looked good in training camp, started off the season okay, and has fallen off lately. I mean, I thought Gettleman got a lot for a player who's marginal at best right now.
You know what? He was a number 1 pick, and they got a 4 and a 7 for him.
You can disagree with it.
I guess no. It's a tough one because we spent spent the number 1 on him. Used the number 1 on him, and we only get back a 4 and a 7, which goes to show you, about Jerry Reese and his number 1 picks the last few years.
And we spent a 1 on Flowers and got nothing.
Right, and that's why this organization is where it is.
Yeah.
Gettleman and Shermer obviously did not think much of Apple, that they, got that in return. A 7th-round pick is like getting nothing. I mean, you're not, very rarely you're going to see a player be an impactful player. There's very few Jesse Armsteads around, 8-round picks, that play really well. So
yeah, the only other one I can think of is Ahmad Bradshaw, who really contributed.
Yeah. So very rarely, they actually impact a team. So it shows you what the organization thought of Eli Apple.
Since they traded Apple, if you had a crystal ball, who else do you see possibly getting traded, and give me possibly, and then who do you definitely think will get traded if you had to guess?
Traded or
traded
before this deadline?
Yeah, before the deadline.
Listen, I put it out on Twitter before. I believe that Gettleman might be working the phones for Janoris Jenkins. Now it's just a matter of his contract. There's not many teams have cap space at this point of the year to take on a contract like that. Trade wise, it's tough because guys like Snacks, obviously OV, no way. Ogletree, guys like that, just cap wise, it's just not going to happen. Now, if you want to get into who I believe will be released before next June, that's a whole other subject. That I could give probably 3 or 4 names right there. But as far as trading deadline, because Apple had worked because of his contract, right? Yeah. He's on a rookie contract still. Other guys are not on rookie contracts, so I don't see anything happening as far as that goes.
So another storyline that's come up lately, and it's going to continue to come up and probably a lot more, is Kyle Lauletta. And I think this is setting up, maybe I'm wrong, I've been wrong so much this year, but it looks like it could be setting up to where they play the Redskins, then there's a bye, and then they come back to the 49ers. Could this be Eli Manning's, if the Giants lose and they go 1-7, I think they'll go 1-7.
Yeah.
Could this be Manning's last week starting this year, or do you think Lauletta's too far down the depth chart to move up in 2 weeks?
I think Eli will start after the bye week, but I think you will see Lauletta active.
Yeah.
I think he will be backing up Eli, and I think depending how that 49er game is going, you will and games after that.
Yeah.
I think you will start seeing Lauletta get into games.
Okay.
As far as actually starting, I don't think that's going to happen out of the bye week. I think if they lose to the Redskins and they come back against the 49ers, and they're playing like garbage in the first half, or they lose that, then you might see Lauletta down the line. But I don't think it's going to happen right after the bye week. No, I don't. But I do believe after the bye week, you will see Lauletta as the backup quarterback.
Yeah, because one of those names that are going to be gone next year is obviously Eli Manning, and the Giants have to see what they have with Lauletta. And right now, chances that Lauletta is the guy that they move forward with, 7% maybe. I mean, I don't see the Giants not taking. And I don't want to hear about Justin Herbert staying in school because his brother's going there. Everybody's saying that about Sam Darnold. If he has a chance to be the number 1 overall pick next year, I think Justin Herbert's coming out. That's just my prediction.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, or there's other guys that are going to move up. The kid from Missouri, the kid from Duke. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be rocketing up the charts by next year.
Oh, no! And listen, the kid from Ohio State's real good too, bud.
Yeah, and I just think you still want to see Lauletta. I mean, the best problem the Giants could have is if Lauletta plays. Oh, did you get a text message? if Lauletta,
sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
If Lauletta, plays well over the next whatever games, if he plays 6 games and he looks really good, then the Giants have a nice problem on their hands. But I still think they're going to go quarterback next year. But that is what it is, man. We're 1-6. It's a debacle. The vitriol and venom on Twitter is real, and
people are disgusted. People Giants, are fed up.
Giants deserve it, and one of the things I saw from last night, and man, the NFL is getting harder and harder to watch on TV from an announcing standpoint. Jason Witten, another Cowboy in my life. I thought he was absolutely terrible. There were plays they were designing, and I'm not going to spend much time on this because they're not worth it, but they were showing plays afterwards where he says, the right tackle does this, and then the right tackle did nothing like that. I mean, he's just a bad announcer for as good of a tight end he was where he gave us fits. He was a terrible announcer. That Booger McFarland thing where he's in the Dr. Evil type of chair, roaming up and down the sidelines. Yeah. License plate guy, Joe Rubeck. He tweeted today a picture of it or a video. What a joke. Yeah. I mean, you're in the front row. How the hell does the NFL and ESPN allow this and say, it's a good idea. We're going to put a big screen in front of you. You can watch that the whole game.
I didn't realize how big that was until Joe put that on Twitter.
Yeah, what a joke.
I couldn't believe how big that screen is and that stupid moving chair, whatever the heck he's got going on there. I don't know. Jerry, you're talking to the wrong guy, to be honest with you. I have to be honest with you, my friend. I am so focused during the Giant game about what they are doing on the field, what each guy is doing. That Jason Witten could be saying that the Red Sox suck every 5 seconds. I wouldn't even listen. I wouldn't even hear it. You're talking to the wrong guy. I know Witten. I don't even know half the stuff he was even saying. You were bringing to my attention on Twitter last night. I didn't realize some of the things he was saying. And then Booger McFarland, I know he was trying to make. I don't know what he was trying to say about Odell and Brady, that Brady could get away with it with his antics on the sideline, and Odell can't. I don't know where he was going with that. I have a feeling I do know where he was going with that, but it was totally unnecessary what Booger McFarland was saying.
I mean, Chris, you got to understand, I watch these games like an 85-year-old man would, where I'm looking for things to hate the second it starts.
Yeah, you're different than me. You're different than me from that.
I all I want to hear is Bob Papa and Carl Banks, and I get these guys every week. I had an idea. I think the NFL should have several different announcers, and I'm not talking about. I think they should sell announcing with the Sunday ticket. So you can sell Bob Papa and Carl Banks, or you can sell two guys in Brooklyn announcing. I'm dead serious about this. I am so sick of the announcers that we get week in and week out. I'd rather listen to like my uncle and my brother-in-law announce a Giant game, because I think it would be more entertaining and more fun to listen to. But anyway, little rant. I'm sick of everything this year. I can't believe this team is 1-6, and it is what it is. And the good thing is
rebuild time.
The one thing that you brought up earlier is we're getting more Twitter followers as the Giants stink. And I don't know if it's because of the tweets we sent out, but thank you. We're now over 15,000, and we asked for Twitter questions again tonight. It seemed to go well last time. We're going to do them again right now. But Chris, we have a pseudo sponsor, and these Twitter questions are brought to you by Forever Collectibles and the good job that Anthony DeVino does with his NFL Player Association bobblehead. So Snacks Harrison has one out there. All the proceeds for that, or a portion of the proceeds of that, goes for the hurricane that hit Louisiana. So Forever Collectibles, they have great bobbleheads, and there's the one of Odell and Manning doing the Time of Your Life dance, and Barkley. And anyway, just wanted to give them a plug. But dude, we had so many funny questions from Twitter. The first one of the responses, I have to read it from Go Giants 247365 at Mikey T64. I said, and I start off with, look, that's the season, folks. Send your Twitter questions now. And Mikey decided to send a rhinoceros taking a dump. Basically, that was his description of where this season's going. And look, it's not a question, but it's creative. And I just thought it would. I thought it was worth
mentioning.
Worth mentioning. So some of the questions we kind of covered already. Is Jenkins going to be traded? When will Arletta play? Here's a good question from Moose74 at Marcus3255. If Herbert decides to go back, who would be what would we do with a top 3 pick next year? Would it be a quarterback or best player available? What do you think, bud?
I think it's going to be quarterback, no question.
No matter what?
I don't think there's any question.
Yeah.
The Giants are drafting a quarterback. How could you not?
Oh, no.
They're not coming back with Eli. Listen, I love Eli. I love everything he's done for this organization, but there's no way number 10 is going to be in a Giant uniform next year. Just no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way that's happening. Okay, so the Giants, or the only way they do not draft a quarterback is if somebody like Derek Carr winds up in their lap. If they go out and get a guy like that, or they go out and decide to get a Nick Foles.
Could they get a Bosa with their first pick, and then a quarterback in round 2, like maybe a Locke or a Fromm?
I got to be honest with you, my friend. I'm not educated enough right now to look at all these guys. I don't know exactly what they're all doing. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no, I
could not tell you right now.
Because I thought it was a good question. Because if Herbert stays, Dave Syvertson of Our Lads thinks he's the clear cut number 1. Are you forcing a quarterback with a top 3 pick if he's not the guy? But definitely a good question. My guess is they wouldn't. My guess is they would go best player available, and then
who you come back as a quarterback next year?
Well, they figured that out with, like you said, maybe they make a move for Derek Carr or have a 1-year stopgap till the kid from Bama's ready.
1-year stopgap with who? Loletta?
No, I don't know. I
don't. Like a veteran, you mean? It's something like a bridge guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can't see the fan base. I don't know. I can't see that.
I just think we're a couple years away from doing anything, and.
Oh yeah, 2020.
And again, I'm not advocating it, but if their guy's not there, Gettleman is the Ernie Accorsi best player available from that mold. So, but anyway, we'll see. Here's a good one from hashtag Thank You Eli at OSJ2USA. Curtis Riley can't play safety. Where are the other surprise free safety cuts up to now? Yeah, I don't even know if they're on a roster, are they? Is Andrew Adams or Darian Thompson playing? And a better question, and I think this is kind of where he was going with it, is Curtis Riley better than those guys?
He has proven not to be. No. Hello?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I lost you there, pal.
No,
yeah, he's proven.
I'm just sitting here staring
proven,
like, you're right, he stinks. And
he's proven. Riley, the biggest issue I've seen with Curtis, don't call me Eric Riley, is the angles he takes.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Like even last night on Coleman's touchdown run, Riley took the wrong angle. And that's been a continuous issue with Riley all season. He does not take the proper angles, and you cannot play free safety in this league if your angles are not sharp.
Yeah.
I can't say. I know a lot of people are down on Riley, this and that, and I'm not going to go out and say he's the worst safety I've seen. He totally stinks, but obviously they need an upgrade in that position.
Yeah.
And he's not. In all fairness to Riley, Jerry, he's not a safety. Don't forget, he wasn't even penciled in to be free safety.
Yeah.
In camp, he was supposed to be a corner. He played corner in Tennessee, and then the Giants made, he looked good in the OTAs and this and that. And next thing you know, he's the starting free safety for the team. So it's a tough one, Riley. The kid's never played there. Now there he is from day one. And, you didn't expect much from him. We haven't gotten much from him except for a few big hits. But so obviously that's going to be an upgrade next season, for 2019.
Here's two. One's a comment, and I'll read it, and it's kind of funny. Jay Young at Jyoung 3888-9564. They have 9 games left. The pimping Giants are going to finish 10-6 and win the NFC East. The season is far from over. All I have to say is to Jay Young is don't smoke crack, do not do drugs. It'll kill you. Please stop. The other one, another an actual good question. We are PSU at Rich Homethon. These names are awesome. How can you not make adjustments to cover the play action pass or drag route? And you're a kind of a defensive specialist, Chris. You take that one.
I'm sorry, give me that question again.
Yeah,
Jerry.
How can you not make adjustments to cover the play action pass or drag route?
They didn't make adjustments to cover the play action pass
or the drag route. I guess there were a lot of crossing.
Well, that's the Falcons game. They love that with Sanu, and it's not a matter of adjustments; it's a matter of covering your man.
Yeah, I think it's a matter. I think it's a matter of talent. That's all.
It's a matter of listen. It's a matter of the defensive end at the time. Matt Ryan figured out what the Giants were doing in the second half last night. He totally cut them up in the second half. They got Ogletree a few times isolated on, I think it was Sanu one time where he had underneath coverage, and he had the shallow route guy and Ryan read the defense. A lot of the times it's a matter of the quarterback figuring out what defense they're in, and executing a play. So listen, it's a game of adjustments where the next series betcha comes back, does something else, and then they do something else. So as far as adjusting to the play action, I didn't quite get. I don't know what that was. If a team's running the ball, guess what? A play action is going to freeze the linebackers. You're going to slip guys behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. So. Yep.
Another question. There's been a hot topic before the game. I haven't heard too much of it after. Chef Barry at Confit81. Interesting topic to discuss. Pat Peterson once out of Arizona. Could bet you're helping it happen. My answer to that is yes, but why would we want him? We're 1-6. He's 29. You're going to have to re-sign him. What are you going to do? You're going to re-sign him when he's 31. This team's going nowhere. I would if the Giants won yesterday and then won again against Washington, would I consider it? Maybe, if we could have him for a 4th or 5th rounder. I don't know.
You're not getting
no,
it for that.
I know, but I guess that's what he'd be worth to me on this team. There's no way he's coming over. No way.
No, I mean, right away they see the Betcha connection. People are like, oh, maybe Betcha could get him over here. Like Betcha has the pull to get him over here. Like Steve Wilkes came out today and says there was absolutely no way we are trading Patrick Peterson. Of course, that could always change, but I guess if you throw a one at them, they would consider that. But you're not getting Peterson for a mid-round pick. He's just too good.
Yeah.
He's frustrated over there. He wants out. It wouldn't surprise me to see him come out and say tomorrow, you know what, I was frustrated. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to write this out. So as far as coming to the Giants, I don't see that happening. Listen, we're in a rebuild mode, right, Jerry? So we can't be giving up draft picks for guys. We have to start building this team up.
Yep. We'll go two more questions, and then we'll call it a night, buddy. This is thank you for the questions, guys, because this is at least entertaining. This is probably the best part of discussing the game are reading these questions. Our buddy Just Joe from North Wildwood / North Jersey at surfin_392. How would you handle the rest of the season? A, try to win as many games as possible and save as much face as possible, or start playing younger guys and see what we have. For me, that's an easy one, Joe. I go B, start playing the younger guys and see what we have.
Oh, this is your Wildwood buddy, Joe.
North Wildwood Joe, yes.
No, this is your Wildwood's Shore buddy, right, Joe? He's a good guy, Joe. He's a funny guy, yeah. He is funny tweets. I guess both play the young guys, and you're always trying to win games. I mean, professional athletes are not going to go out there and just lay down and watch a team run over them in football because that's not happening. I'll tell you that right now. So I notice a lot of people saying about tank and tank and tank. I don't know what that means. I know what it means, but if you think a guy like Snacks Harris is going to go out there and tank, or Landon Collins, what does that mean? Does that mean like you just don't, when a guy's pulling on you to block you, you just step aside and go the other way while a tackle runs down the field? I don't get what that means. I know the frustration is, you've got to lose every game, but that's not what professional athletes do. They're not going to just tank and say, okay, let's not block a guy, and let's Saquon and get killed back there. I don't know what that means, Jerry, but I guess what that question is, you try to do both. You try to win a game, and you try to see the future, right? You try to see the young kids. And I think that's what Sherman basically said today.
Yeah, and the last one is from somebody I know, Christina Foley at Christina Foley 16. She has two questions.
That name sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar. Two questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read two. She sent four, but I'll read two. Can the Giants forfeit the rest of the season? No, sweetheart, they can't. And that's a term of endearment because I know Christina. Don't do this. I know Christina very well. And
I hope so.
The second question, when will Jerry get a jersey with Mrs. 12th on the back? Yeah, I probably should. At least you don't let me down, sweetheart. Not like the New York Football Giants do on a seemingly weekly basis.
What was the other? What was it? She had four questions, Christina?
She had four, but they're filled
was any football related on the field? Like when you're going to fire Shermer, or when you're going to cut Eli, or anything like
things
that?
I'm not comfortable reading. Do you think? Anything from anyone from the Giants, players, coaches, ownership is at all embarrassed? And the reason she asks these questions is, like you, we live kind of in Philly country. We live Central Jersey, even though people in North Jersey think West Orange is the cutoff. It's not. Right. The New Jersey's midway point is actually in New Egypt. There's an actual historical landmark for it. So I'm north of New Egypt. I'm actually in North Jersey. But where we live, there's a ton of Eagle fans, and they rub it in our faces. So every time she goes somewhere, she runs into a billion Eagle fans who have comments to make. So it's sickening. We're losing 5 of 6 years. We haven't beaten the Eagles in forever. And that's where we are. So
I hate to correct you there, Bob, but 6 of 7 years now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
2012.
Thank you for that.
2012 on.
No, I appreciate the correction. Yes, it's actually worse than we thought.
It's worse than we thought.
We're at the threshold of hell. But anyway, everybody, hope you enjoyed this one. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention. Be sure to order your copy of the Giants Insider newspaper. Go to www.giantinsider.com or visit magster.com for a digital subscription. That's magzter.com. The fact that we can still write about this team and make it somewhat entertaining is pretty impressive. You guys should actually subscribe to this newspaper. Yearly subscriptions are $39.95 for paper copies, and the digital version is only $17 for a yearly subscription. 14 issues as we're bi-weekly during the season and month in the off-season. Our next podcast will be 8 p.m. Friday night, October the 26th. And I guess we'll discuss the upcoming game in Washington, and then we'll do all of our predictions, which really that's probably the most important part at this point. We'll do the predictions for the week. And I think last week I got a lot right. and I think I beat you. I didn't tally up.
Yeah, I think you kicked my butt last week.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Eagles right, which I said they'd lose, and I had the Giants right, which I said they'd lose. But anyway, everybody, thanks for listening to the Giant Insider Podcast. I'm Jerry Foley. He's Chris Bizignano. And remember, guys, Sundays are still Giant days, and they always will be. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.